What I'm about to tell you is my own personal experience. To be honest, it hasn't really ended yet. But I'll try to tell the story from the beginning. I'm a 23-year-old guy. I work as a social worker at a nursing home and live with my parents. There are four of us in the house. My father, 52, my mother, 44, my younger brother Hero, 18, and me. This spring, Hero was supposed to start a new job and was planning to move out and live on his own. That evening, after dinner, I was sitting in the living room with my parents in front of the TV. We were chatting about random things. Where should Hero rent a place? What does he need to buy for his new life? That kind of stuff. Hero himself was in our room. We share a bedroom, probably getting ready for his first day of work. On the TV, I think some show about antique appraising was playing. Suddenly, static flickered across the screen. It stopped almost immediately, so I didn't think much of it. I kept watching and continued the conversation. So, I was thinking. I started, but when I turned to look at my parents, I saw something strange. They were sitting there with their mouths half open, staring at the TV. Their eyes were bulging out so far, it looked like they were seeing something absolutely horrifying. Hey, what's wrong? What happened? I asked, getting nervous because I'd never seen them make faces like that before. They ignored me, their eyes still glued to the screen. And then, suddenly, their bulging eyes, just the eyeballs, turned in perfect sync and stared directly at me. Holy! I screamed. The next second, as if nothing had happened, they started talking again. Mother, well, yes. Know how will Hero cook for himself? Father, I think he'll manage, right? I was stunned. No, wait, hold on a second. What was that just now? Is this some kind of joke? My parents were never the joking type. They both had very heavy, serious personalities. I couldn't believe they would pull such a stupid prank on me. Mother said, "What do you mean, what?" Father continued. What? They both looked at me with genuine confusion. Knowing their character, I realized this wasn't an act. They were reacting completely naturally. And that's when I got really creeped out. They don't remember making those faces. Nothing. It's nothing, I muttered, looking down. Mother, by the way, when are you going to die? What? Father, she's right, we should talk about that too. When will you decide? Suicide or an accident? What? I completely lost track of reality. The sudden shift in topic left me totally bewildered. Wait, what? I'm going to die? What do you mean? I was literally stuttering, but my parents continued the conversation so casually, as if they were discussing tomorrow's dinner menu. Father, we've waited a long time. It's about time, isn't it? Mother, we'll help you. Don't be afraid, okay? They kept discussing it with total indifference. They said hanging yourself is dirty. Better to use sleeping pills, or jumping from somewhere. If you lose consciousness mid-fall, you won't feel the pain. They spoke as if they had seen it all happen before, and every now and then, they'd burst out with an ah-ha-ha, laughing as if it were hilarious. Enough already! What kind of bullshit are you talking about? I screamed. I was terrified out of my mind. My parents turned their heads toward me simultaneously. Ugh! Their pupils were pointing in different directions. One was looking left, the other right.
Die. Die.
Despite their pupils being completely misaligned, their faces were pointed directly at me. They repeated die over and over in a monotone voice, like broken dolls. I couldn't take it. I bolted toward the room I shared with Hero. Bam! I burst into the room. Hero? Whoa! You scared me. What's up, bro? Hero was sitting at desk, filling out some paperwork. Them! Dad and Mom! Their eyes! And they're saying die! And before that, there was static on the TV. Hero, look, I'm sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about. I knew I sounded like a crazy person. I just couldn't process what was happening. I grabbed my head, my thoughts racing. Anyway, something is wrong with Mom and Dad. Come see for yourself. Hero froze. His mouth fell open and his eyes stretched wide to their limit. First my parents, and now my brother. When I saw Hero's pupils starting to slowly drift apart in different directions, I sprinted for the front door. What is this? What's happening? What the hell is going on? Before running out into the street, I caught a glimpse of the living room. My parents were standing there staring in my direction. Their eyes were still completely crossed. I ran as fast as I could until I reached a crowded area. Once I caught my breath, I called a colleague, a senior coworker named Kenji-san. He lives alone. Kenji-san is one of those people who sees things. Spirits, ghosts. He listened to my frantic, insane story with total seriousness. Kenji-san, I see. Okay. Tomorrow we'll go to a priest I know at a temple. He'll figure something out. For tonight, just rest at my place. You look like a ghost yourself. I spent the night there. Obviously, I didn't sleep for a single second. The next day, Kenji-san had the night shift, but I was off. At 6 a.m., we drove to the temple, about 30 minutes away. There, I told everything to the head priest. Priest, I understand. This must have been hard for you. You are completely exhausted. He looked at me with genuine sympathy. Then he said we couldn't just leave things as they were. The three of us, the priest, Kenji-san, and I, went back to my house. My father was walking in circles through the living room and the hallway. Blood was pouring in streams from his arms and legs. Several blood-stained kitchen knives were lying in the corner of the room. 2 more laps, and I'll open the vein on my right leg. 3 more laps, the vein on my shoulder. He was muttering under his breath. My mother was in the bathroom. She had filled the tub to the brim and was repeatedly shoving her own head under the water, holding it down with her own hands.
Almost dead. Almost dead. Almost dead.
Hero was sitting at the desk, writing something. Except he had a utility knife in his hand, and there was a mirror on the desk. Prefecture, city, district. He was carving our home address into his own skin. I just stood there and sobbed in terror. In the end, all 3 were saved. The priest called for backup from another temple. Everything is fine now, except my father and brother are covered in scars. When we go to public baths or hot springs together, I feel a deep bitterness. Later, I asked the priest about it. He told me the cause lay with our ancestors. You know how in historical dramas they say, I'll curse you down to the 7th generation? This was a real-life version of that. The method of the curse was particularly cruel. The entity doesn't just kill you. It waits until a person has a family, then it possesses them and slowly, methodically, drives everyone to madness. However, this time, the curse hit a snag. It turned out that in a past life, I was a high-ranking monk, and because of my innate spiritual protection, the entity couldn't get near me. That night, it lost its patience and decided to pressure me through my family, forcing them to scream die at me. But when I ran away, the entity decided, fine, I'll just take the others. The curse was too powerful, so even the priest couldn't break it completely. Now, my family members always carry special protective charms with them. The curse is still not gone.